The time I used to waste scrolling on my phone stole my joy. It held me back from deepening real relationships with people, and it took away my purpose as a Christian homemaker. If you're feeling the same way, I hope today's video will encourage you and also just empower you to rid yourself of the mindless scrolling. Let's chat about all the steps that I took to break free from my phone addiction and also how I combat that addiction on a daily basis even now as I take you along for my day. When my son was still really young, I realized that I was addicted to my phone. And it was common for me to waste hours each day scrolling through social media or binging a show on Netflix. But all that screen time left me feeling empty. It left me feeling unmotivated and really just like a sad person. And I didn't like that version of myself. So I took a challenge that was to go without my phone for an entire day. And that may sound easy, but let me tell you, it was not. I could not believe just how many times I would reach for my phone simply out of habit. Even though I had put it up away on top of my refrigerator, out of reach, and I'd turned off all of my notifications except for phone calls and text messages, I still reached for it out of habit. And I recently just read the book Anxious Generation, where it talks about how the tech companies and their algorithms are dangerously sucking us into social media and they're keeping us hooked. So really, I just want you to know it's not just your willpower and discipline. You are fighting a very strong force that is working against you. However, knowing that you are fighting this is a really powerful thing because it helps you instead realize that maybe you can't control the algorithms, but there are things that are in your control. And that's what I want to share with you today. That day that I spent just going without my phone for a full 24 hours helped put into perspective how much time I wasted throughout the day just being on my phone. And like I said, I still got text messages and phone calls, but everything else I just stayed off of. And after that day, I started making a plan for how I would spend my time, especially as a homemaker where I don't clock in to a job or anything. I really needed to make better use of my time and not spend it on my phone. The Lord calls us to be good stewards of our time. Psalm 90 verse 12 says, "So teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." And let me tell you, that's why I love routines, especially as a homemaker. Instead of just going through my day without purpose or plan, I want to number my days. I want to use my time well that God has given me because we never know when our time may be up. I have developed morning and evening routines as well as just daily and weekly routines that help me stay focused and present in the moment and also just get the things done that I know I need to do instead of reaching for my phone and ignoring the tasks that are my priority. So if you're wondering where to even start when it comes to spending your time more wisely as a homemaker, you'll want to sign up for my free Simple Homemakers checklist, and I will leave it linked in the comments and also in the description box for you to check out. Another verse that comes to mind when it comes to the time that I spend as a homemaker and just as a Christian in general, actually are a couple of verses, Ephesians 5:15 and 16. It says, "Be careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil." And those verses just remind me that life is too precious to waste scrolling on my phone. I don't want to spend my time posting on social media just for likes or comments. So I have actually, in the past 10 years, over time, I have deleted my personal social media accounts. I want real life relationships with people, not social media. I want to be able to make real life connections with the people in my life and not just depend on the digital world. So sometimes that means that I miss out on things, but to me, that's worth it. So social media always caused me to compare myself to others. It stole my joy. And honestly, it caused me to be lazy. And so when I don't even have the temptation of those accounts anymore, I don't have that even as a thought to even get on there anymore and to waste my time or to compare myself to others. I feel like I could say so much more on this topic, but I'm just going to leave it at that. I will say, of course, you're watching me here on YouTube. So obviously I still have YouTube and I do watch other YouTube channels, usually on my TV screen in the evenings after I've gone through my day and done the things I need to. I will relax in the evenings, and we don't have any other kind of TV streaming services. So I use YouTube as a means of entertainment and resting. And I think that's okay because I'm not neglecting the other things in my life throughout the day. But I'm just really careful to watch channels that are uplifting and add to my life rather than take away. And I really hope that my channel does that for you. Sometimes, though, I still struggle with watching YouTube on my phone. Sometimes I will listen to podcasts on YouTube while I'm doing the dishes or something. But sometimes I will be tempted to usually get on YouTube Shorts is the temptation for me because you can just scroll. And so whenever I am feeling that way and I just don't have the willpower to get off, I will delete that app on my phone. And then I don't even have it as a temptation. And I've learned to just really notice when I start mindlessly scrolling. And then instead of continuing it, I take action. And so I get up, I put my phone out of reach, maybe even delete the app, and then I go and I do something. And that usually is all that I need to do now that I've learned to catch myself before it goes into hours of mindless scrolling. And that brings me to my second thing that has really helped me with my phone addiction. And that is, besides making a plan for how I spend my time, I also have filled my life with good things. And of course, I'm not talking about a busy, fast-paced life where I'm stuffing it so full that I'm stressed out. But instead, I've replaced my scrolling with things that actually energize me. Doing these life-giving things that take up the time that I'd normally spend on my phone make a huge difference, and I don't even feel like reaching for my phone. I encourage you to make a list of activities that you love doing that make you a better version of yourself. For me, that is things like going for walks, riding my bike, weeding my flower bed, watering my plants, baking muffins, making food from scratch, drawing a picture. I've been recently doing watercolor paints. I like reading books, exercising, laughing with my kids. When I do different studies of the Bible, and even just editing videos for this YouTube channel, all those things energize me. I like being creative. I like being productive. And those are things that make me feel alive and make my life full. It's easy to complain that there isn't enough time in the day for hobbies or to read books or to exercise. But when you get honest about how much time you actually spend on your phone, you'll find, like I did, that you have a lot more time to do those life-giving things. I will finish sharing my tips here in just a little bit, but I wanted to just say real quickly that you're going to see me making dinner next, and this was a recipe that I would highly recommend. I tried a new recipe for fried chicken with gravy and mashed potatoes, so I will leave linked below because my family loved this new recipe that we tried. I'm also frying it in tallow instead of canola oil. Over the past couple of years, I have switched out all of my canola oils and I'm trying to do better and just using healthier oils. And I found my tallow at a local Mennonite market instead of Costco. It was so expensive at Costco. And I only paid, I think, like $3 compared to like $15. So definitely if you have a Mennonite market near you, I would suggest checking them out to see if you can find tallow for cheaper. Something else that has helped me was to simply prioritize real life, face-to-face connections with other people throughout the week. So my kids and I are part of a couple weekly gatherings. One of them is with our homeschool group. Another is with a local Bible study fellowship group that we do throughout the days. And then, of course, we have events with our church. And so I would just encourage you, if you haven't already, to find something local that you could join to, or you could even start something yourself. It doesn't have to be super complicated, but if there's just something where you can meet in person with other people and making real life connections instead of just ones that are virtual on social media, that is going to help you so much. When you plan how you'll spend your time and you fill your life with activities that energize you and relationships that build you up, you'll find that you don't even need or want to spend so much time on your phone. So in the end, I just got rid of my social media, and maybe that won't work for you. Maybe you do want to keep your social media. But I do hope that today's video has given you some inspiration and just hope that it is possible to make these changes in your life too. So fill your days with so many good things that you don't even want to reach for your phone. And if you're interested in my free checklist, look for it below. I also have a course called The Motivated Homemaker, which has helped hundreds of women go from overwhelmed at home to just motivated and joyful and peace-filled. So I would encourage you to check that out as well if you're interested. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.